What's going on, guys? My name is Palpatine Bricks, and today I will be showing you my biggest and rarest Lego Star Wars collection in my collection within itself. This table right here has over $10,000 worth of items. Some of these items by themselves cost over $10,000. We're going to take a look at every single little Comic-Con set and rare set, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of a backstory of how I got it, where it comes from, and why it's so expensive in the first place. But let's take a look at it right now. Let's start kind of from the left, move our weight right, and then I'll show you the shelf here with all my rare sets and kind of just explain why they're so expensive. Now, this is going to be a long video, so make sure to grab some popcorn and sit down and watch the video to the end. Alright guys, without further ado, I'm going to start off on the left with this book. Now, this book on eBay sells for almost $4,000 by itself. Now, you may ask yourself, why is it so expensive? Because this book by itself showed up with the white Boba Fett, which, if you guys know, is it really expensive now as well. It is a poly bag, and this is just a really expensive book. Now, this also came with a white Boba Fett booklet, which is also here in the background. So this actually came with this and a white Boba Fett booklet, just like this one, and it says this behind here, 16,736 out of 20,000. Now, most of these were destroyed or disappeared a long time ago, but now we've actually got two of these books which cost over a couple $1,000s, which come with the booklet within itself, which go like that. So that's over a couple $1,000 just by itself, this booklet. Now, moving on, we've got a congratulations paper here, which is going to be in this little plastic sleeve. But this actually showed us this set, which I made a video on a couple days ago, a $10,000 golden Lego C-3PO. Only 100 of these in the world were made, and they were released in Australia, a part of a 2008 survey competition. Now, if you have this set, you're extremely lucky, or you paid a lot of money for this minifigure. It was $10,000. That brings me with another golden C-3PO, and now this one is a little bit more, out there. A lot of people do have this set because there's 10,000 of these made. So you can see one of 10,000 Lego C-3POs. This is the same exact minifigure except for the box. It's different. This one comes with a sheet, and it was a competition. This was kind of a promotional thing in 2007, and 10,000 of these were made, and that's about around $3,000 right now, but this one is $10,000. So that's definitely a big step up if you guys want to get a golden C-3PO. But that brings us to the set, which is a SDCC or / San Diego Comic-Con 09 exclusive out 2009. Only 500 of these were made in the world, so I've got set number 443. It's sponsored by Brickmaster, which released a lot of brickheads, which are big kind of poly bags, which is really nice, and it has a little bit of a piece there of the San Diego Comic-Con. And actually, this one you can open up even though it's sealed, because the box is only expensive. And you can see we've actually got exclusive ATOT and dropship Lego Star Wars. So we got a dropship here, which is really cool, and that was exclusive to this set with this packaging. Then we've got the Brickmaster ATT poly bag, and also a Brickmaster booklet from the 2009 year, which is pretty cool. You can see a lot of information there. If you guys want an in-depth video on that, let me know, but that's a different story. But that's the 2009 exclusive of the Brickmaster, and this one retails for about a couple $1,000s right now. It's nothing too cool. We know that Indiana Jones also had a Brickmaster release, which I also do have in my collection. Yeah, but that's another video if you guys want to see that. Now moving on, we've got this little display case, which is not that expensive or rare whatsoever, but it was on my table, so I just wanted to show you. We've got the New York Yoda there in the middle, the haired version. We've got two Boba Fetts. They're not Cloud City Boba Fetts, a Kylo and a Darth Vader, so it's nothing too special about this set right here, but we're going to put that to the side, but it's still nevertheless a pretty cool thing. The next thing we've got is a VIP frame poly bag. Now, this has a Millennium Falcon, so it's definitely considered as Star Wars. This only released to VIP members of Lego Star Wars, and I was lucky enough to get one myself, and now this retails for around $400. Moving on, we've got another sealed in bag Lego Star Wars New York Yoda. I do have the X-Wing with the plaque for this set, which makes it more valuable. I think this goes for around $8,000 nowadays, which is really expensive and crazy because I only bought it for around $2,000 back in the day. Now, this next thing is one of the holy grails as well. There's only 500 of these made in the world. I've got set number 434. This is from 2007. This was a Star Wars Celebration box, and this is really cool. I bought this for $5,000. I think you won't be able to find one below $6,000 right now on the market. It did come with a plaque there above, just like here, but I don't have that included in this one, unfortunately. But it's still the complete model of this set, and you can actually pull the glass out and take the minifigures out, which is pretty cool. But I don't want to touch that because it's really expensive. Now, moving on, we've got a Darth Vader light up minifigure. Now, this may not be too special, the minifigure within itself, but this plastic bag or poly bag is the most expensive poly bag you will ever find. This is a Toy Fair Nuremberg, which is in Germany, from 2005 with a light up Darth Vader, and this will go for around $5,000. This was shipped from Germany. I bought this a couple years back, and it will probably retail for around the same. It hasn't gone up or down, but it's really expensive for those ultra rare collectors like myself. The next thing is not that special at all. It's just gone up in value a lot. This used to be $50. Now it goes for around $500. It's just a chrome stormtrooper. I've got a couple of these. One's built in my collection, and a couple other ones I will show you in that little case in there. But nevertheless, I do have the chrome stormtrooper. Now, this right here would be the most expensive thing in my collection, but unfortunately, this is not the real version. This would cost around $14,000 by itself, but the stickers are fake, so they're not real, and if you do come across the real one, it is probably going to be upwards of $15,000. This is the transformation between Indiana Jones and Han Solo of Star Wars, which is really expensive. Only 100 of these were made in the world, and I wish I could have one, but unfortunately I don't. Moving on to the left here, this is Darth Revan. This is another poly bag, which has skyrocketed in price as well. I'm not sure why. It is such a bad poly bag. I don't like it at all. It's such a useless kind of poly bag that costs a lot of money, but nevertheless, I do have a couple of these as well. It's nothing too special. Moving on to the left now, this is something that's really, really expensive. This is the Han Solo and Tauntaun. This came from Legoland, California, and this bag itself and the instructions themselves probably get this set up on that list. So it's not really that expensive in terms of the build, but the bag in itself, it's probably around $5,000. And if you were to find one of these are really hard to come by. Make sure to cop one straight away if you do find one. Moving on to the back, we've got these tins at the back, and you've probably not seen these before, but these are from 2012. There's a Darth Maul, Luke Skywalker one, and a Boba Fett one. Now, these are all LEGO Star Wars SDCC exclusives, and this is really cool sets. They basically have these little builds in them, which has a Sith Infiltrator, a Darth Maul, a Luke Skywalker, and a Sand Speeder, and also a Slave one with Boba Fett. So now these are going up in price. These are definitely around $2,000, probably, or $4,000 in between those, but they're definitely really cool sets that I have in my collection. Now, the next couple is poly bags. We've got the TC14 Chrome poly bag. We've got the white Boba Fett poly bag. We've got two of those. Then we got the Chrome Darth Vader poly bag. Then we've got the Darth Maul poly bag. We've got a Luke Blue Milk poly bag, a TC14, another poly bag, and then we've got a Shadow Arc Trooper poly bag, and we've also got the Boost poly bag, which is probably a little bit of a surprise. This one cost a lot of money because it was really hard to get, and I'm not sure why it wasn't like exclusive to many of the stores, but I did get one on eBay, and they probably sell around $400, but they don't have any exclusive minifigures or anything like that, but it's a really cool set to have. Then we got something miscellaneous. We've got a LEGO Star Wars 2005 loose Jawa minifigure 9 Alpha Grading, which is a company that grades minifigures and basically tells you how much, kind of like what's the quality of them, of the minifigures, and I did get this for $400. Nevertheless, this is a beautiful minifigure. I don't know why I got it, but it's still really rare. Then we have the thing you've been waiting for, and probably what you guys know the most. It's the Cloud City minifigures, a Finch Dallo minifigure, another Chrome minifigure and another TC14 in there. And we also got Lando Calrissian, smooth hair layer, the original Jango Fett with his head, the Cloud City 10123 Boba Fett, and a 10123 Luke Skywalker and Finch Dallo. So probably this case alone is probably around $8,000, counting, you know, these minifigures. So probably like 500, 3,000, 500, probably 1,000, and probably 500. So this is probably a couple $1,000 just in this little case in here, but we do have that nevertheless. If you're a real collector, you will have these minifigures. Those are probably the first ones on the list that you were going to get. Then we have a couple SDCC exclusive. We've got the Tension Block Rescue, which we already had one, and I lost it many years ago. I don't know what happened to it. I stored it somewhere safe, but then it just disappeared, so I don't know what happened to it. We've got another one of those. Then we have the original Millennium Falcon cockpit, Solo and Solo, and only 3,000 of those were made. Now this one was only 2,000, and then this one was only 3,000 as well. So those are really cool sets. Sith Trooper bust is another cool bust that you have to have if you do have the normal helmet series. But that's what's on the table right now. I'm going to move on to kind of what's on the right. I'm not going to go in depth into that, but I am just going to show you because you're probably getting bored right now. But I want to show you. Now, the first thing I have on that little shelf is the X-Wing SDCC 20 years kind of employee gift, which is really cool. This was only given out to employees, which is really cool, and I do have one of these. These probably go for around $1,000 right now. Has a little history behind it. I've never opened it, but it's a really cool set, with the Yuletide Squadron pilot being really expensive right now, but the set itself is really expensive. Now, moving on, we've got two of these Lego Star Wars fans advent calendars. That was San Diego Comic-Con. We've got set number 640 out of 1,000, and we also have 376 out of 1,000. So I've got two of those sealed. They're really cool. They go for around $2,000 each, and they're really hard to get a buyer for. I did try and sell one. If you are interested, let me know in the comments below. I will sell you that for 2,000 Australian dollars. But I do have two of those. And then moving on, these Lego Star Wars Kabaya boxes, which is not really that expensive, but it's really cool to see Japanese kind of writing with another company being put together, which is pretty rare, but they're not that rare. But the next set is really cool. The next set is the Comic-Con 2008 Lego Star Wars clone set, and this is really cool. It has these minifigures and these two sets put together, which I did review the other day. As you can see here, I do have that set sealed, and it's within this set within itself, but this is the separate set, which is pretty cool. But this set goes for around $6,000 right now, so if you did want to get one of these, you are going to get a good money worth on that one. It does have Captain Rex, posters, 5 minifigures, and 2 sets, which is really cool. Let's take a look at the next one. The next 3 sets on these lists are Lego Star Wars exclusives, Comic-Cons, which I don't have all of them. There's actually 6 of these on the planet, different ones I'm saying, but I've only got 3 of them, so I'm still in the search of the other 3. They're really hard to come by, really expensive. So these 2 are actually out of 300. So you got Chewie, 2 Stormtrooper, Luke and Han Solo, and then you've got Grievous and, you know, Sith here, also 300. But this one's more easier to come by. There's actually 1,250 of these. So these were released on a higher scale than these 2. But they're really cool display models of these sets. I'm still trying to search for them. So hopefully I do find those sets. And let's take a look at the next sets. The next 2 sets are Lego Star Wars Comic-Con and Star Wars Celebration brick minifigures, which is pretty cool. I have not seen many of these. One is kind of Sith and one's a good side, but they're both really cool, and the plastics are actually ripping off after the years. But you can see this is 1,527 and this is 1,230. These are both limited edition, go for around $1,000 each, but they're really cool and things. The next thing is the most expensive Lego Star Wars brickhead, and this is the Boba Fett and Han Solo and Carbonite brickhead. This was exclusive as well. This is number 4,053 of 5,000 ever made. So this is also a New York Comic-Con exclusive, which is pretty cool. A lot of people do search for these for the brickheads. Now here in the back, we've got the Lego Star Wars stands of the minifigures. We've got Boba Fett, Luke, Darth Vader, and Stormtrooper. We've got the original Star Wars Celebration Obi-Wan Kenobi brickhead. We've got the Lego coin. We've got the Luke Skywalker lightsaber. We've got the Yoda's one somewhere as well, and we got all of these which are also exclusives. I've made a video on those as well if you guys want to see that. But that's my rare Lego Star Wars exclusive set video. I have all of those, and these is probably worth around $30,000 to $40,000 by themselves. Thank you so much for enjoying my video and staying to the end of the video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe to this video. I really appreciate it a lot for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.